What's up, everybody? One Piece chapter 10,066 is out, titled The Will of Ohara. Now, I'm guessing this is going to be Robin-centered, since we're talking about Ohara. But this makes me think, I'm guessing we're going to get some exposition on what Clover was talking about. Because basically he expounded on the century that essentially this civilization existed from, and everything that Vegapunk's been talking about seems to relate to that time. I'm guessing we're probably going to connect that all here. Alright, the Will of Ohara, returning to Germa with company. So they're flying back to Germa. I wonder how Judge is going to feel seeing Caesar, since they were on meds. Wonder if it'll be a good thing or a bad thing. What are you saying? A futuristic city like this existed in the distant past? This is just conjecture. I once knew a passionate archaeologist who was willing to risk his life to shed light on a certain ancient kingdom. Not only that, but a certain site, machinery. I can't read today. On a certain site, machinery was excavated that dated back to the same era as the kingdom. Are you saying that machinery was created during the Void Century? You tell me. I want to know a passionate archaeologist who was willing to risk his life to shed light on a certain kingdom. That sounds a lot like Clover. If Vegapunk knew Clover, that would be kind of crazy. You know something about this, Robin? No doubt it's a painful memory, but 22 years ago, your home of Ohara was eradicated by a buster call. I think that happened because Ohara uncovered the details of that kingdom's existence. I believe the history of the Void Century is the history of a conflict, one between an alliance of 20 nations and this forgotten advanced kingdom. The victorious 20 went on to form the world government and shape history as we know it, and ensure that the ideas of the ancient kingdom wouldn't live on. They erased every trace of it from history. Yeah, so this is what we thought. The ancient kingdom, which was advanced in a lot of ways apparently, eventually got beat out by these 20 different powers that made the world government, and then they pretty much covered up everything. Now, the immediate questions are, what did these 20 different kingdoms have that could outclass something as advanced as what we're seeing here on Egghead? And then, if that's the case, and they were, was it the creation of the ancient weapons that they used to pretty much eradicate this entire kingdom? Are they trying to cover up the ancient weapons, not so that no one uses them, but so that no one figures out what they actually did? Opens up a lot of questions, which we might get this chapter. Let's see. What? That's crazy. Is this for real? Whoa, an epic and romantic Frankie. Hang on, Vegapunk. You mean everyone who knows about this gets eliminated? Indeed. Then why did you tell us? God, I can't hear it. Come on, Brain, forget you hear everything. Usa. Like I said, this is just conjecture. So tell me, Nico Robin, if I'm right, and that discovery is why Ohara was wiped out, then wouldn't the government's actions be tantamount to a confirmation? Why are you asking about this? The scholars did devise a theory after all their extensive research, but wouldn't someone as high up in the government as you know about it already? I'm afraid government affiliation makes no difference. I'm kept in the dark by everybody else. Even bringing this topic up to them will result in my immediate erasure. Man, so even Vegapunk, I mean, obviously, they're saying people to kill him so he's not immune, but you would think something like this, they would discuss with him a little bit more. Because if they had ancient technology, they would want to use that. But the fact that, and maybe that's what they're doing, maybe they're having him create things on this island without telling him why that island exists. Because he's just kind of putting things together. So maybe they were trying to cover it up, but he's obviously smart, so he's going to put things together eventually. Then stop telling us. This is just torture. Let us out of here. That's true. How could you know they were researching that kingdom? All the books and materials on Ohara, they were. The will of Ohara lives on. That day shocked the world. In a single night, Ohara, the island renowned for its love of knowledge, was wiped out save for one little girl. The scholars were labeled devils, dissidents who plotted to overthrow the government. A few months after the incident, I paid a visit of my own to the scorched earth of Ohara. I was acquainted with Professor Clover, the foremost authority on archaeology. I figured I should at least leave some flowers for him. You knew Professor Clover? His obsession with the Void Century fueled his adventurous lifestyle, searching for relevant texts all over the world. Was he a pirate? I mean, I guess not necessarily a pirate, could be an adventurer, but the fact that he's got like a cutlass and everything makes me think he was a little bit of a pirate. The Marines incarcerated him on at least 10 occasions. By the time he settled down, he was the world's most famous archaeologist. Over time, countless scholars were drawn to him, and they all flocked to Ohara. It truly became a holy land of archaeology. Unfortunately, the aftermath of those talented minds coming together would prove tragic. When I stepped foot in Ohara, even the tree of knowledge had been burned to cinders. I was speechless when I saw it. What am I looking at? Is that your head? Bro, what? Is that hair? But the lake at the center of the island had been filled with an unbelievable number of books. What in the world? I could only assume that it was the work of the scholars. They must have dedicated their final moments to ensuring the future had access to their treasure trove of knowledge. If any Marines did discover the books, they were apparently too ignorant to understand the value and left them be. Ohara had triumphed over them. When I realized that, I couldn't stop myself from crying. No, Robin. Please take care of Robin. Make sure she escapes the island. I still have a duty to see you here. I mean, I don't want to leave you. Let me stay too. Why are they making us do this? Why would they put us back through this again? Save the books. Get the reference materials out of the library. Robin, history is our greatest treasure. It must be preserved. We can't just give up on your future. Your memo was not rolling. Ohara stood up to the world. They're making Robin cry. No. How could they do this? How dare you make Robin cry? That's it, Vegapunk. Bear released these shoes. Huh. I see. It looks like everyone's heated. I'm guessing Sanji's definitely heated. It looks like Frankie's also heated. And then I see Nami too. But someone is just saying Vegapunk. Oh, it's just Robin. It's just as you said. They came to the same conclusions about the kingdom before the incident. I see. So it's all true. Where are the books from the lake now? I really wanted to take them back to Punk Hazard. But I knew the top brass ever caught wind, it would be all over. So instead, they were taken by the people I saw that day. A few months after the Buster Call incident, someone else is visiting the debris. Giants? Is this actually a vegetable? I mean, okay. We expect him to look goofy. This man look sweaty. It looks like he's crying. His nose is dribbling. Man's looks... He looks like Vegapunk would look. Alright, let's pull him up. Who are they? What should I do? Do they have any idea how important those books are? It's been a while, Vegapunk. As usual, that head of yours makes you stand out. Is that you? Dragon? Dragons here? Oh, this is pre-tattoo dragon. Vegapunk looks disgusting. Yo, get this man out of here. I mean, I love it and I hate it. Oh God. It's like Eggman, but so much worse. That's my line. Your head definitely looks like it's gotten a bit bigger too. I knew old man Clover. Everybody knows Clover. Crazy. You too? I know he was once a bit of a hooligan roaming the seas, but all that nonsense about him trying to destroy the world. It's blatant propaganda. Dragon, head of freedom fighters. Huh. Didn't know they were ever called that. 33 years old, Dr. Vegapunk, head of Punk Hazard, 43 years old. Are you worried about the giants? They're not scavengers. I had a word with them just now. It seems they're from Elbaf, and they're fully aware of the value of those books. Their captain was a strange giant, wrapped from head to toe in bandages. Their captain was a strange giant wrapped from head to toe in bandages. He said Ohara sacrificed himself for those treasures, and he couldn't let them be erased from history. After seeing a government lackey like you about, I'm glad they're here to scope up. I think it's supposed to be scoop. Scoop them up and keep them safe. Hey, you know I never. You passed on joining the freedom fighters a while ago, but it still made me sick to hear about you becoming one of their lapdogs. Don't be stupid. Your ragtag operation was always too poor. What good are my skills and intellect if I can't actually build anything? I know, you're as blunt as ever. The world government is actually an insanely huge organization. There are plenty of decent people on the inside that can be reasoned with, especially in the Navy. Don't lose sight of the end goal, Dragon. I get it, but I can't just sit back after this. It's too much. Those harmless scholars were brutally snuffed out just for questioning their authority. It's a farce. I'm going to raise an army that can fight them head on. I thought you hated war. Just watch Vegapunk. I'll change the world. The will of Ohara won't die with Clover. And within a year, he and Volkov and Kuma found the Revolutionary. Okay, so it was called Freedom Fighters before it was officially the Revolutionary Army. Oh, so these three started the whole thing. I like that. Which continues to the world to this day. Wow, Luffy's dad sounds intense. Did you say Elbaf? Professor Clover's fate motivated Dragon. My head's gonna blow up. Why did Kuma help us? And why do you modify him so much, Vegapunk? The final word, the visionary. The books from Ohara certainly couldn't be left to be found by the government, but my curiosity compelled me to make a discreet trip to Elbaf, where the books were taken, and they allowed me to read each and every one of them. That's Saul? In other words, I took everything Ohara uncovered about the world's secrets and memorized it. I think that's Saul. Just because of that hat. Is he still alive? But why would he was never a pirate captain, was he? He fled the Marines and then he immediately ended up in Ohara. So when would he become a pirate captain, and when would he have invited giants back here? Especially if it was only a few days after. That math doesn't add up. Okay, it's a few months after the Buster Call, so I guess it's still technically possible, but that's crazy. It's all in my head, and I've continued their research. That giant captain, he's called Saul, isn't he? Okay, yeah. He's in hiding now, so I can't confirm anything. Oh, Robin. They making us too sad. Thank you, Dr. Vegapunks. Thank you for not letting Ohara's sacrifice be in vain. I try to help progress every field of thought possible. It's my nature as a scholar. Whoa, the shoes are moving on their own. I can't reach you just yet. Follow me. There's something I want to show you. Fabrication stratum. Chopper, there's no way to get in. Oh, it must be the type that moves on its own. Move! Move, Robo. Does it need a special command? Maybe we've just got to say its name. Move, Robo Nosuke. Move, Robo King. They're so stupid. I guess they're such kids. Ain't no way it's move. Huh? It's doing something. The robot's gonna blow. Save me, Quasar. Quasar. I think that's a verbal tick. No good. Another debacle. Please save me, Quasar. Perhaps space-time bent mid-warp. Huh? What the? There's a guy like Kinemon in here. I'm thinking I gotcha. It's him. Much obliged. You're Dragon's boy, right? I knew you'd come. Good job on making it. Oh my, Bonnie, dear me, you sure have gotten big. Old man, are you floating? It's splendid to see you so full of vigor. Vegapunk. You can float too, you know. Those dom shoes you're wearing have a nifty hover function. See here, press the button on the side and grab the lever. And give it a big old push, like this. That's the way. Gadzooks, we've flown too far. Huh. So he legit cut off his head and put it into the other Vegapunks. It's not just that he separated his conscious, he chopped his head off. It's kind of crazy. And he looks way less goofy. Which I like. Because whatever he was looking like before was wild. A man with the biggest brain in the world, leader of the Navy's SSG. Okay, we got official Vegapunk. Saul is still alive. Sad Robin. We'd never want to see sad Robin. The disrespect, but also. Glad it came to a good point. I mean, Saul being alive isn't exactly surprising. Aokichi said that was one of his best friends. And we've seen that you can survive being frozen by Aokichi if he doesn't freeze you over, but puts you in a shell instead. Is it possible that Aokichi went back? Is it possible that... I mean, Saul's obviously like really injured. So it's possible that Aokichi froze him for looks, and then the heat from the fire thawed him out. I don't think it's too crazy to say that Saul's alive. I would have thought that they basically bombed the entire island, meaning every like surface area of the island was hit. But I guess they would have focused the Tree of Knowledge. Huh. Saul is still alive. I wonder if he comes back into play. I feel like it's really weird that he was silhouetted, but he's not out, so I can't confirm anything. I mean, I guess there's no confirmation. So that has to play back later. But pretty sure that's all. Okay, that was a good lore chapter. I think we're going to see the group meet up real soon, because now they can fly and they have Vegapunk, which means they're probably gonna all come back to the main place really fast, especially since they don't have anything holding them back anymore. Okay, solid chapter. I enjoyed it. You guys let me know what you thought down below. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.